Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akanakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Excuse me. And this one's dealing with this photo that I believe one of the brothers posted. I can't remember which brother it was, so like you for that. And I just went ahead and screenshotted it. And it says 79% of men apologize even when they're right, just to end the argument. Now, we can go ahead and we can validate this by what percent of men apologize to end arguments. Damn. So even higher. So they say 79%. So it says recent research studies that a high percentage of men, roughly 79 to 82%, admit apologizing to end an argument even when they believe that they're in the right. Key findings to this behavior include prioritizing peace. Men choose to apologize to de-escalate tension and restore calm quickly rather than continuing a mentally exhausting argument. It's absolutely. Any brother knows this. And you sisters out there that are watching this, you should, fucking take something from this, man. If you're being argumentative, because you really shouldn't be as a woman. Conflict avoidance. This behavior is frequently a strategy to avoid prolonged conflict and protect the relationship from unnecessary stress. See, women will put unnecessary stress onto a relationship. Men try to end it, but women will try to start it, right? They'll try to start conflict, right? Physiological response. Studies indicate that men may experience higher physiological stress, such as an increased heart rate during arguments, causing them to seek a quicker resolution to return to a state of calm. And you women got to stop playing that shit, because not only that increased level of stress and that increased heart rate, that's the type of shit that'll make you eventually snap. All right, some of you women are going to push a man too far to one day where you get, a mean right hook across your goddamn jaw. All right, I made that lesson not too long ago talking about, you women out there are playing, and these men out here, men out in the world now, us that are in this truth, we restrain, right? We're not going to fucking, dome our woman right across the face. But these men out there, it can happen. Now, if a woman's attacking you and a woman's hitting shit, yeah, it might happen. Probably not fists, but like I said, the most I'd do is slap the shit out of a woman, all right, if it got to that level. All right, I don't think women are more not as strong, so you don't need to punch them or anything like that. But if a woman was decking me in my nose and busting me in my lip and hitting me in my eye and all these things and causing me, I'm feeling like, damn, this woman's really hitting my ass right now. I probably won't punch you, but I'll probably give you a good slap. All right, and women say, so you admitting to hit woman? Yeah, I'll admit to if someone is hitting me, yes, I will hit them back. Right? Yes, I will hit them back. All right, I'm not going to hit a dog, but if a dog's biting me, I'm going to hit that motherfucker, right? If you want to hit, if you want to attack, then you have all the right to get attacked back, okay? We're peaceful beings, all right, in this truth. But if we're attacked, yeah, we're going to defend ourselves, duh. We're not going to just stand by while you just keep punching me, please. This is what God would want. Keep punching me. Please punch me in my nose. No, that's stupid, all right? But at the same time, we maintain a calm, keep calm and carry on type vibe, right? We stay composed, all right? And we don't want no issues. We just want to chill. We want to relax. We want to make our lessons, watch our lessons, serve the Lord to the best of our ability. We don't want no drama. We don't want no issues. We don't want no arguments. We don't want no debates. We don't want none of that. We just want to do what we do and go about our business. You go about your business, right? But really, the main source of opposition, in this truth, other than the unbelievers, is some of these women out here, man. Some of you ladies out there are calling yourself sisters, but you're being argumentative with your man. You're being completely out of order. You're talking shit. You're putting yourself over him and never listening to nothing that he has to say, and just barking at him, right? Like a little dog, just barking at him constantly, man. Let your man get some peace. You're supposed to be a pillar of rest, and you become a pillar of disgrievance to him, right? Look that word up, disgrievance, okay? So, what else? Happy wife, happy life. And that's a wicked-ass fucking feministic saying that came from the society. It says, some anecdotal evidence suggests a societal influence where men may feel pressured to end a conflict at all costs to ensure their partner's happiness. There it goes. So they can say, that the sky isn't blue, it's actually chrome. You're right, it's chrome. All right, can we just go to the steakhouse now, please? You know? It says, one study noted that men often have a higher threshold of what they consider a wrong action requiring an apology. When they do apologize, it's just as likely as a woman's apology to be sincere. But that's, they say, like I said, I've been in many arguments with women in my life, and I'd say close to 90% of them, the only reason I ever admitted, apologize, I would admit to apologizing is just because I wanted the shit to end. All right? Everybody knows that. Our argument with a woman is a fucking circle. You say, and as she points out, it's usually, men don't really start the shit. We just sit back. Women will be like, I didn't like when you said that, or I didn't like when you did that, or I didn't like when you said that way, or I didn't like when you commented on that, or I didn't like when you didn't comment on that. I didn't like when you looked at her. I didn't like when you said this. I didn't like when you, it's all, and men, we don't really bring shit up like that, all right? We're more complacent and just chilling. Unless it's something that's a big, big issue, we're not probably going to bring it up. We're probably just going to think about you differently and move on. Right? If you do some shit, we're going to say, this bitch ain't shit. All right? Maybe I was wrong about it. And we're going to move on about our day. Right? And then that's it. All right? And we'll eventually come to our terms. We'll say, maybe she's got some stuff going on. And we'll problem solve within our mind. Okay? Well, women, they want to have a conflict. They want to start a conflict. They want to say, they have an issue. And they say, well, I didn't do it because, for example, I can't really give you an example. Let's see. I don't know. You did something they didn't like, all right, but you weren't even, noticing. You just happened to do. They don't like it when, you left the fridge a little bit open, right? Well, I don't like leaving the fridge a little bit open either. This isn't a real argument, but no one wants to leave the fridge open, but you leave it cracked. Sometimes it doesn't close, whatever, right? You go back and you're like, oh shit, I left the fridge open. It creaks. Sometimes it actually, wind or something, the air in the house, it'll actually blow it open further, right? But you leave it open a little bit, it doesn't fully close, and then so you don't even care? Huh? So you don't even care about the house, you just don't give a shit. What the fuck are you talking about? You're just gonna go around acting like I'm just gonna clean up around you. What the fuck are you even talking? First of all, we don't even know what the argument's a fucking about at the first thing. Man, we're completely oblivious when the argument starts. We said, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't care about that. What the fuck? What do you mean, woman? What the fuck are you talking about? You're just going to leave the fridge open. I don't leave the fridge open. Yes, you did. I don't remember leaving the fridge open. If I did, it was an accident. My bad. Oh, well, yeah, but, look, man, I don't have a fucking argument about it. I'm sick of this. You just don't fucking care. I cook and I clean and I do all this around the house. And then, it's in the feeling. And you're like, oh, my God, here we fucking go. Here we go. And meanwhile, you were about to grab a beer and go and sit down and watch some TV or play your video game. Or, even worse, go and do a lesson. All right? And you're here it is, you have the spirit on you, getting ready to do a lesson, and this fucking, a wildebeest of a woman starts fucking having a goddamn argument with you. You're like, oh, fuck, here we go again. And you go on and on and on about my feeling, you've been doing this just over and over and over again, and you never think about the things, and all the things I do for you, and and you're like, oh my God, here we fucking go again. You say, I'm sorry, that's not how I meant to make you feel, it's my bad, and then it's never enough. Right? They say, well, it's not. You don't care. You really don't care. Well, I do care. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And all this over a fridge, it's not just about the fucking fridge. It is about the fridge. This is the whole situation started with a fridge. Now you're talking about how, I was in that one place and I did that one thing that you didn't like. And the other time I forgot to bring the mayo home. And that one time I did this. And you're just bringing everything up. God damn, this all started because, fuck, I went to get some cheese and I left the door open just a little bit. Fuck, man. God damn, sorry. I'll fucking set a reminder every time I open the fridge then to fucking not have that issue happen. God damn. And then, then they start crying. Sometimes they start crying and oh, you hate me. I mean, oh my God. And then you tell them like, look, man, every time it's a fucking issue with you, you want to start the issues. I didn't do any shit. When you have a little fault, when you go and you leave this all over the counter, I don't bring it up to you. When you forget to do this, I don't bring this up to you. When you forget to go and do this, or you say this to me, or you make some backhanded ass comment or something, I don't bring it up to you. I just let that shit slide because I don't want to have a fucking argument about it. But I go and fucking do something with the fridge. Now all of a sudden, oh, it's the biggest. That's what you women do. And so after this point, I'm giving you this long drawn out example, and any man that knows, going, yup, And then it gets to the point where they say, well, you left the fridge open, so now you're back to step one. Now you're back to step one. So you argued about her feelings, about the things you did, about the things you did in the past, things you did in the present, things you're probably going to do in the future, about how you keep fucking up and how she's, you keep hurting her feelings. And then you bring up, and then they go back to the fridge situation or whatever the original situation been. And they're like, look, man, it's always you. You keep on picking shit at me. You never examine yourself. And then that goes into accountability. Women will never have any accountability like that. So you say, why don't you think about what you did? Why don't you think about how you keep on fucking up on this, or how you keep on talking about me some fucking type of way, or how you keep on hanging out with these ain't shit ass friends? How about you think about that? Or how about and they'll either cry, all right, and they'll break down, or they'll completely blow up and start screaming at you. And then usually at this point say, you know what, you're right, I'm a piece of shit, my bad, and then you either walk off or you just try to do anything to fucking stop this shit, because at this point that argument's already been 45 minutes to an hour, and you're either trying to go into a store, get out of a store, watch some TV, or finish something that you were trying to do. Right? So yeah, 79 to 82%. This is a real fucking study of men end the argument, or admit to apologizing just to end arguments. And my bad, I'm sorry. All right? And they're not, half the time we're not really even sorry. Half the time we're not, because we didn't do anything that was wrong. All right? We apologized in the first half. All right? We said, I left the fridge open. Oh, my bad, I'm sorry. But first of all, that's not something you should really have to apologize. It's my fridge too. All right? Shit, if I'm leaving the fridge open, it's my fridge too. Right? It's not your fridge, it's my fridge too. I left the fucking fridge open. So what? Right? My bad. You think I want the fucking fridge open either? No, I don't. I'm just as upset that it got left open. I closed that motherfucker, and now it's still open. And now you want to come start an issue over something so stupid? And that's the thing. These women start to argue over the dumbest shit. The dumbest shit. Right? And I can't, like I said, I can't even explain it. Just the dumbest shit. Right? Matter of fact, you go to Reddit. Dumbest thing your wife started an argument over Reddit. Let's see. Let's look at some of these. Okay? Let's get a scripture though. Okay? First one I want to get is 1 Esdras 4:26, and it's become again, happy wife, happy life, because and it's a fucked up feministic saying, but it's true. At the end of the day, it is the fucked up part, because if your wife ain't happy, she's gonna fucking make you unhappy. She's literally going to go out of her way. If she's not unhappy, she's going to bitch, she's going to complain, pick on you and say you did this and then you're not going to be happy. Okay? Because now you have to listen to a bitching ass, nagging ass woman. All right? And now you're not happy. So yes, happy wife, happy life in a lot of situations. All right? And that's why a lot of situations, you brothers out there that don't have women, it's better for you to just fucking stay single, man. All right? Get it where you can get it. If you need a little 1-2, a pop here and there, all right, go and get it. It's not like these Christians, that's lust and fornication. No, it's not. All right? It's not. All right? Go get a little 1-2 and mind your business, all right? You don't need anything serious in this society, man. Especially, having a woman that's going to fucking cause you a goddamn heart attack half the time. All right? Why do you think men have more heart attacks than women? All right? It's not just the diet. It's not just the harder work. All right? We have harder lives, and on top of having harder lives and working harder, we have to come home or not come home or be in the house because on our day off or whatever that's going on and listen to a bitching ass wife. All right? Sometimes. Not all the time. Some people have to deal with all the time. All right? I pity the fool. All right? So 1 Esdras 4:26, it says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. A lot of these men out here have become servants for women. Okay, honey. Right? And that's not really, and sometimes, like I said, unfortunately, we have to almost dumb ourselves down into a state like this, which we shouldn't, but sometimes, you don't want to have to, you don't, it's not really, you don't want to be servitude or anything like that, but if a woman's bitching, there's nothing that's going to stop a woman from bitching. Any men that's been around for that many years, had been with women for a long time, they will not. You try to walk out the house, now it's how you say, you just go walk out on it. So you can't walk out and just distance yourself. You can't tell them to get over it because that's just going to make them more worse. You can't say to stop because, again, more work. You try to say your side because they don't care about your side. All right? The only thing you can do is reason your side and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I hope you can forgive me. Right? and then hope that they fucking buy it so you can just go about your day. All right? God, fuck, just thinking about it stressing me out. Fuck, man. Pissing me off. Pissing me off being in those type of situations, man. Because, the men have had to dumb themselves down into a fucking position of servitude to some level. All right? Now, there's men out there that will literally become servants fully. Yes, master. And they'll go and do anything for their wife. And then there's other ones, they even sometimes, us in this truth, unwillingly so, have had to, or agreeing with a woman just to stop it, that is some servant shit. All right? That's some servant shit. We should not have to do that. But again, men have had to subject ourselves to a lower state for these women. And that's why you men that don't have women, don't get women. And then you won't have to deal with those issues. Right? Don't. Everybody likes box. But hey, guess what? At the end of the day, with pussy comes problems, as they say. So is it worth it? How worth it is it? All right, you can just go get box on the side and not have to deal with, having that shit. And as the apostles say, again, I'm not in GMS, but that's who I learned from. As the apostles say, if you have a woman like that, ideally, it'd be better, if she had her own place and she comes over to your place and then goes the fuck away and you don't move in. All right? And guess what? You won't have that many arguments. All right? And if you do have an argument, guess what? You can just go. And if she decides to say, I'm not hanging out with you anymore, Travail, all right? Cool. Fuck off and kick rocks. Beat it. That woman ain't a wife. She was never a wife, all right? She wasn't. She's a worldly woman. Get you a worldly woman, all right? And doesn't know anything about the truth, all right? Whether it's a Jake or whoever, probably even better if it's not a Jake, all right? And then just, get the 1-2-1-2, little friends with benefits, hang out, go and get coffee every once in a while, and that's it, all right? Get what you can get out of it, and if they ever decide to leave, they leave, all right? That's it. She leaves. The Bible. Look, you're not supposed to be getting divorced like that, like separating from a woman. But these women in the world, they aren't marriage. You're not marrying them. Okay, they don't have any idea about the biblical law. You can't force a heathen or some 2/3 or maybe could potentially be of the elect at some point if they wake up, but are currently living in the position of as a 2/3 to buy into the how wives work biblically if they're not in it. They don't care. They're not going to give a shit. So you can't try to make a housewife out of hoe, right? A worldly woman. You can't do it. So this is Proverbs 21:9. It says, "It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." And again, we did an etymology on this one time, an etymology deep dive. What does it really mean? And brawling here, I don't think it was necessarily on that, but we did a deep dive into it as like a little bonus, I think. And brawling here meant argumentative, all right, or contentious, okay? So, and you can go look up what contentious means. Contentious. All right, an adjective describing people or situations likely to cause arguments, controversy, or strife. Here's one right here, Proverbs 21:9. It says, "It is better to dwell in the corner of a house." Oh, well, that's the same one, but it's down here in the 21 and 19. I was like, that's the same one. So 21 verse and 19, Proverbs. "It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman." No one wants to be around an argumentative woman. Okay, this is a great example of how it goes. Right here, Ecclesiasticus 25:17. "The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth." You can tell an evil bitch woman because she's just got that face. She's just got that face, that snarled up nose, right? Those wrinkles right around the nose from years of snarling and being a bitch, right? Those frown lines across her eyebrows because she's had that stank face, all right, for so many a year, right? Doesn't have any smile lines because the bitch don't smile. Ugh. Has those dark eyes, and you're like, ugh, this bitch. Yeah. And not 99% of the time, I'm not gonna put it on a hairstyle, but they got like those loose curls. I don't know. Oh, I'm just talking about the ones I've seen. They have those loose curls. They're usually not too dark skinned or too light skinned. They're kind of like regular brown. All right. You see the same thing with Marias. All right, it's not just the so-called Southern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom woman as well. You know, they have that face. All right, like I can't even explain it. Their hair's always in that ponytail usually. Anyway, but this is Ecclesiastes 25:18. The next verse, it says, "Her husband," talking about a wicked woman, "her husband shall sit among his neighbors." He's gonna be hanging out with the neighbors, right? 'Cause he doesn't want to be around her. It says, "And when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly." Hearing it is hearing her. All right, and what he's hearing specifically is Draymond, where you at, Draymond? What are you doing, Draymond? I've been looking for you all day, Draymond. You been doing all this? I gotta go. I gotta go, guys. This bitch gonna fucking drive me nuts. But I gotta go. I'll catch up with you guys. Maybe I'll sneak out a little bit later. We'll have a beer or something. But I gotta go deal with this, right? And then it says in 19, "All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her." And not only will they bring up contention and strife and all these different type of wicked misings that they'll do, the other thing is that they'll do, they bring up the most debaucherous shit and evil shit that they can possibly do during the argument. All right? You know, just horrible shit. All right? It turns out you were touched by your uncle or something. Or you know, you were touched by a family member or something, and that's why your Uncle Ruckus, he touched you when you were a kid. Right? What the fuck? You know, what the fuck kind of sick shit? You gonna bring some sick shit up like? And that's why your daddy killed himself, drank himself right to death. Probably didn't want to be around your ass, right? And that's a quality of all women. Now the black women do it the most, all right, but white women do that. White women do that too. The Edomite women, all of them do it. All right, that's a trait of women. Not just so-called black woman, so-called white woman, whoever. That is a trait of women. Women do it, okay? It's just, you know, the black woman has become the most, you know, barbaric and brutish out of women. So they do it the most. They're going to be the most argumentative and contentious women you can get with is a so-called black woman. All right, you can't say nothing. You can't even say the grass is green around the black. The grass ain't goddamn green. Sometimes it's brown. What? Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's brown when it's dying. But yeah, you said it's green. It's not green if it's brown then. Is it, Draymond? Well, I mean, yeah, but most of the time it's green if it's in good health. But yeah, where we live in the ghetto because you can't afford to get a good job, huh? You can't afford a good house. So the grass around here, it ain't green, Draymond. It's brown. It's brown. And when the dog pissing all up in the house, when it's not pissing in the house, it's pissing in the backyard, and it's making the grass yellow. All right, but you won't get the dog under control. You know, fuck you, you bitch, right? and then now they want, would you say fuck me? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right, absolutely. All right, if you had the power, you'd kick that bitch right out your house. If you weren't splitting rent, you know, get the fuck out of this house, bitch. Right? And that's not how women should be. That's not how women should be. Right? Women can't be perfect in the society. They're gonna, you know, they're gonna have spirits get on them from time to time. All right, just like the men aren't going to be perfect. All right, you men, you can't expect your women to be 100% perfect. And you women, the women, they say, well, I don't. They take it as because the men aren't 100% perfect, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can argue, they can do whatever because, you know, he can't get the best paying job or whatever and get you the best fucking house in the world, or you have to live in a little bit rougher area or whatever. You feel like that man does not, he's not owed you respect. He's not, it does not say anything about in the Bible that the respect that a woman has is how much money a man has. Okay, now it talks about a woman maintaining her husband is going to be, you know, angry with that situation. I think it says full of reproach, roughly paraphrasing, but it does not say, you know, women give more respect to the men that have more money. All right, and those that do not have that much money, treat them like a piece of shit. It doesn't say that, does it? Okay, and that's your portion as a woman, is to treat your man with respect. Okay, and a lot of you women are complaining about having a man that does all these things or disrespectful, but you're not respectful to him. You don't do shit. You don't cook. You don't clean. You don't put out. You don't do anything. All right, you argue. All right, you cause him a bunch of stress and grievance. All right, and you expect him to treat you like you're fucking, you know, the princess of princesses. Right? No, you're not. All right, you're not, and you're not treating him with respect. So Ecclesiastes 36 and 24, and you're supposed to be being a pillar of rest to that man, not causing him stress, all right? That's why these men die so young, is because all the fucking stress that we're under, man. Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 24, it says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. So that shows you shows you that you are a possession unto us. You are property. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So you're a help unto us, and you're a pillar of rest. But these women these days are no help, all right, and they give you no rest. They stress you out, all right, and they're not a possession because they damn near cannot be controlled, all right. They're going out and just fucking, they're wild, man, wild and uncontrollable. So that's a lesson, right? You women out there, all right, there's good women in this truth, all right, and hey, may Yahweh Shem Yahushai bless you, all right, for treating you, man, with love and respect. But you women out there that are out in the world, especially you women that are calling yourself in the truth and you're still being a fucking piece of shit to your man, you need to get that under wrap, all right, or the Lord's going to deal with it. And you don't want the Lord to deal with it like that, all right, because the Lord, when he deals with women that are doing that, it ain't going to be nice. He ain't going to deal with you in a good way and say, hey, you've been a little mean to your husband, you should stop. No, he's just going to fuck your ass up, or he'll cause that man to leave and you'll be homeless, all right? So, you know, mind your P's and Q's and get on with it, you women. And these men, all right, if you agree, you men in the comments, if you're here, you brothers in the comments, type I agree, all right, or, you know, however you want to do it, all right, or put up some scriptures, man, put up some things about women, all right, put up some things about women, about, you know, just different things, all right, whatever the Spirit has on you, right? So, you know, that's where we're going to close out, man. It's a little bit more of an aggressive lesson. You know, I don't like how harsh the language. Well, sometimes things got to be harsh, man. All right? You women are driving your men insane. All right? So, you sisters, maybe, here's some homework for you sisters. Maybe you should ask your man and say, hey, you know, and really, if you sisters out there that have a man that's in the truth, you should be watching his lessons unless he's not making lessons yet, right? And, you know, I don't know, you can lightly encourage him. Don't be, you should be making, you know, just, you know, lightly guide him on the path. You know, pray for guidance from Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that, you know, he starts making lessons. All right, or how to guide him to, you know, maybe push him in the right direction, right? Say, hey, you know, have you thought about making lessons? You know, you seem like you'd be really good at it. Don't be like, hey, you know, as a man, you're supposed to be making lessons. You don't need to be trying to do all that. That's going to start an argument. But say, hey, you know, I bet you'd be really good at starting lessons. Have you thought about making Bible videos, right? If he's successful with the truth. If not, then hey, you know, can't do everything. Maybe just pray to the Lord. Maybe he'll put the Spirit on that man. Maybe he won't. But yeah, you know, for you women, all right, that are out there. Maybe a question to ask your husbands is, hey, do I ever stress you out, and what do I do that causes you stress that I could stop doing, all right? That's a question, all right? Or another one, say, hey, you know, I was reading, you know, Ecclesiastes 36 and 24, and it said that a woman should be a pillar of rest to a man. Do you feel like I'm a pillar of rest to you, or do I cause you unnecessary stress? There's some questions you should ask. All right, those are some questions you should first and foremost be asking yourself, and then asking that man. All right, because you know yourself. If you were an argumentative woman, you should be able to say, maybe I'm not being a pillar of rest in that man. All right, and maybe I should start being one. So, you know, that's some things to think about for you women out there. All right, so yeah, man. So that's where we're gonna close out. Lord, what was edifying? Just a little shorter one. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, glory, the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak B'dash. Shalom, you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.